Hello guys, welcome back. So video number two. These videos are only a half an hour long, so that means 30 minutes. So we will try to go through this project in 30 minutes. If not, I will create a third video. So again, the name of the project is um, it's Piano Player, and we're going to use some new blocks that we haven't used to create music with Scratch. Okay, I know we've created music before, but in different ways. This new way of creating music is going to be something that we have not used. I'm going to show you here what I'm talking about. So Scratch has a bunch of these extensions. Here we only see two. There are like, I think 10 or 12 now. Today we're going to learn to use this one. Okay, guys? So we'll come back to that in a second. But let's get started. I'm going to take away my camera here so that I can see all of the Scratch platform. And before I start, guys, so just again, follow along as best as you can. The design of the piano does not have to be the same, it can be your own color. Um, but the code should all be the same, okay, in order for the piano to work. Um, if you get stuck or if I'm going too fast, pause the video and rewind it just the same way that we've been learning with the other lessons. Okay, so pause the video, rewind it, ask a friend or a neighbor and for help if you didn't understand anything. But the good thing is you have the video here, so you can always pause if I'm going too fast. Okay, guys, so here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is delete the sprite here, and we're going to go paint our piano. We're going to go create our piano design. So here we go, and here's our platform for drawing. And the first thing we're going to do is use a rectangle. So we're going to create a rectangle. Yours might look different, it might come out a different color. This is my color that came out. We do not have to leave this color. I'm going to change my color. You guys can change your color to however you want it. You guys can see how I'm going to do mine. Um, I'm going to change, in order to change my color, I have to click on the rectangle. I have to go to this to click on it, the cursor. Click here and then go here. And now I want my color to be more of a greenish color and maybe light, dark green. But I also want it to have a little bit of darkness. And I also want it to have this kind of look where it's kind of shady. You see that? Okay, so that's my design. Your design doesn't have to be the same. Yours can be different. Um, so if you're still doing this, follow along. And if I'm going too fast, again, just pause. Okay, so we're going to center it there. And now um, I'm going to give my piano a design where I want, the corners here to kind of go inside, indent. So I'm going to put this here and I'm going to indent. Oops. Yeah, I'm going to click on this cursor and then click in the middle. And you see these three little lines that came out. So now I'm going to click on those and you can, go as far as you want. I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to go like right here and give my piano kind of a different look, different design. Go here and do it on this side too. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. We can always change this as we go. Um, yeah, so now I go to the cursor and here's my design for my piano. Now I'm going to give my piano a name, like a title. So the name of my piano is going to be right in the middle here. So teacher, teacher's piano, teacher's piano player. Okay, and you see we can't see the writing, right? And that's because the writing is green. You see that? So we need to go change the writing. So we highlight the entire writing, and I'm going to change my writing to more of a darker color. Yeah, I think that. Mm, yeah, I think that's good right there for me. You guys can make yours different. And now Now that's the title of my piano. And now I go back to the cursor and I can move this around a little bit. I can make it bigger. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect when we start it. Your design can change at any moment. But try to go with similar to what I'm doing here. And now, since the name of my piano is Teacher's Piano Player, I'm gonna go give my document a name here. So it's Teacher Piano Player Project. Okay. Now I am going to save it. Make sure you guys are saving it. Sometimes it saves by itself, sometimes it doesn't. So every like 5 minutes, when you guys do a bunch of work, make sure you take time and you save. Oops, go to File, Save Now, and continue. See, it says here, Save. Also, if you're working in the Spanish, I would do English just so you can follow along better with me. Change it to English, okay, guys? And then that way, our code, when we start doing our code, it's easy to find because it'll be in English. Okay. So now let's close this and let's go back to our piano. So the piano here, if I move it around, you see that it's moving. We have our writing, we have our piano, and now we need to put some another rectangle to put our keys for the piano. So again, you try just to put it as best you can, and you put it here as best you can in your design. We should all have about the same thing here because this is what a piano looks like, right? And now I think I'm gonna. Anytime you want to move something, remember you have to go to the cursor, right? Or else it's gonna get frustrating. You're gonna be changing your design when you didn't want to. Okay, so there you go, Teacher's Piano Player. And then I want to click here and open this up a little more. And there you go. I do want to change this to more of a white color. So I clicked on it. Then let me see. Yeah, maybe there and there for my keys. Oops. Yeah, I think I'm going to go like this, a little bit of grayish. Because remember, we're going to put some keys in. What are the colors of piano keys? The color of piano keys are white, right? So that's why I want to give it like a little bit of a dark color so that I can see the keys when I'm working on them. Okay, but I think that's good there. Okay, so there we go. We have the platform for our piano. Now we need to go put some code in here so that this piano stays centered. So, sometimes when we're coding in Scratch, we accidentally move something and we get frustrated and we're like, oh man, how do I put it back? So, we're going to go use some code that we have not used in the past to do that. So, the first thing we're going to use is an event. And remember, an event is something that helps us, that when you press a button, something happens, right? Okay, so we use an event. And then we need a loop. There's three different loops. There's repeat, forever, and if. Well, yeah, there's two different loops here that we can use, and we're going to use the forever loop. And then inside the forever loop, we're going to use a block that we have not used that helps our piano stay in the center and not move when we accidentally move it by accident. And so that's what we're going to start with, and that's going to be in our blue section, motion, yeah. And here, actually, I'm sorry, it's going to be in our purple section here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this one's called go to the front layer, but we want it to go to the back layer. Okay, guys? So we want to use that, put that here. And then we're using this to make the piano go to the back to where it was at, right? So where is it at? We need to go find the location where we want it to be at. And we want to put this here, and we want to set this at 0 and 0. Oops, 0 and 0. Okay, guys. So there we go. Let's run this code to see if it works. So if I move this, See, it moves the piano back to where I want it to be. Um, yeah, so I want it to be here. Mm, maybe not exactly there, but hold on. Let's go back here. Okay, I want to move everything a little bit more here. So yeah, I center it here, and then I go back to my code. And now if I take this away, well, no, I'll leave that there. Now, okay, so there we go. So now if I move it, it goes back there. Okay, see that? I accidentally moved my piano. Oops. And the reason we're doing that is because we're going to put more blocks here. And if I accidentally move my piano, I have all my keys here. So then this is going to help everything stay where it's supposed to be. Okay. So now we need to create another sprite. Another sprite is another part of our design, right? It can be something, or it can be, a person or animal or anything we want to put on it. So we need to go create our keys. So again, we're going to go to Paint. And in Paint, piano keys are rectangles, right? So we're going to create a rectangle keys here, the first one. And this will be easy. We won't have to do this. My piano key might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 keys, but we can just duplicate them, right? We know how to duplicate the code, and we know how to duplicate the sprite. So I think that's a good size for my key. However, it's the same color as this. So I'm going to change the color to be white so that I can tell the difference between the keys and the rectangle piece there. Let's see, I'm going to go here. Okay. So there it is. There's my first key. Now, if I want it, the first key is going to go here, right? So if I want it to go there, see, I'm moving it here, and I want to make sure I get it to where I want the key to be. Now, I might have to resize it depending on what's happening there. So I see there that the key is too big. So I just go here and I work with it here. And maybe a little bit smaller here. And now there and there. Oops, down. There we go. I think that's about the best I'm going to be able to get it. And again, guys, everybody's going to be a little different. No, everybody's is going to be, the sizing and the design is not going to be the same. Okay, I think that's good for me there. Hopefully, you guys can pause the video here if you're having a hard time with this part, because it is kind of tricky. But once we get one put where we're needed, then it'll be easy to put the rest. Okay, so there we go. Now, so that's our first key to our piano. We need we need more, right? So I think the first step we're going to do here is we're going to duplicate these keys. But first, we need to set this key to where it needs to be. So let's go put some code on this key really quick. There we go. Okay, let's go put some code on this code. Um, to have this key stay where it needs to stay and not move around, we need to go get same thing, an event. We need to go get a forever block, a forever loop. We also need to go get um, we need to go get the motion block so it can stay where it's at. So here we go. We've learned about where things are at. So we see here the X and the Y. So the X is, you see these two lines from left to right. That's the position of it, right? Of the set of this, right? And the Y is from up and down. That's the position there. And this is the size. We don't want to change the size, and we don't want to change this either. We just want to change, and be careful with this, because sometimes we click this by accident and we lose the sprite. Okay. So here we go get go to X and Y. So go to X and Y is right. Where did it go? Right here. So you see this position, it says 14 and 8. This says 14 and 8 too. So that's where we want to keep our first key. Now, we're going to go learn about this new extension called music so that this little key can start playing when I click on it. So this is when it becomes cool because we're going to go use this extension that we have not seen. And this is going to give us some new blocks. You see these? These are blocks that we have not seen. And here we have um, different types of musical blocks. If you see, if I click here, we can create electric piano, we can create organ, guitar, we can create different types of music instruments with real sound. So since we're creating a piano today, we're going to choose this one and we're going to set this to be a piano. Okay. Does it do anything yet? No, it doesn't. If I click on it, it still doesn't do anything. Why? We need a type of event. Remember, an event is something that if I click on it, then something happens. So that event is right. Let's see here. When this thing, oh, where did it go? The sprite. Oh, when the sprite is clicked. Okay. Don't see it. Oh, okay, here it is. Sorry. So here it is. It says when the sprite is clicked. What is the sprite? The sprite is this, right? Anything we create. And now when the sprite is clicked, what's going to happen? We go back to our music player and we choose this one. This one here is our piano keys. If you see here, we can program the piano to any of these keys. So we're going to have all these keys in our piano. So we're going to program the piano to play this key, the first key when I click on it. You see that? I can program it to play any of these keys. This first right, but I want it to play this first one. You see, I can play any of these, but I wanted to use this one, okay? So there we go, that's it. So this one, this first key is done. And now if I click on it, it's playing, okay? So now we need more keys. So the easiest way to do that is to um, duplicate these. So we're going to do it one by one. So we'll duplicate one and you see the, oops. I don't know where the key went. Let's see. Duplicate. And the key should have went. Okay, so here's this one. I don't know why I can't see the other one. It's somewhere. Sometimes they hide, so I'm just going to delete this one. But here's this one, okay? So now we have this key here. We have the first one, which is that one. Now with this one, it's the same size, but we want it to stay at the same height, right? We want it to stay at 8. But what we do want, we want it to be here next to it. So we don't want it to be next at the same X. We do want it to be at the same Y. So there we go. So now, if I see here, this one says 62 and 8. My first one says 14 and 8. So this one, because it says 62 and 8, here's the code for this one. This is the code for this one. It's exactly the same because we duplicate it, right? We copy it. So what do we have to do to this one? We have to go change the X because it's not in the same length. So we're going to go here and we're going to put this here, 62. Okay. And now if run our code. Oh, and it's actually not where I want it to be. You see this? So I'm still going to move it. And then I'm going to, there we go. Hmm. So 62 is probably not enough. I'm going to put a little rest. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure why this is not working. Let me do it again. So duplicate, and then I move it, and that's where I want it. 60. So let me try that. So I'm going to go here and put 60. Wonder why it's moving. That's weird. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna leave it like that for now, and I'm gonna continue. Hopefully, you're not having that problem, but I'm gonna try to fix it later. Let's see. Let me keep going here. So again, I'm gonna duplicate again, and here's another key, and this key I'm gonna bring here. This key I'm gonna bring here, and you see they're all programmed the same, right? They're all making the same noise, the same sound. So we're gonna change that later. Right now, we're gonna leave it like this. And now this one here says 108. So we want it at 8, but we want this one here to change to 100. So we want to change that to 100. And there we go. So that one stayed. I'm not sure why this one's not staying, but I'm going to come back to that because I don't want to stay on that problem for now. So here we go. I duplicate again. Oops. I duplicate again. And now here I'm bringing this one to here. And I have it at 8. But I need to go change this here, right? Because it's 140. So 140. 140. And there we go. And now if I click, they're all where they're supposed to be. And now I'm gonna duplicate it again. Not sure how many keys we're gonna use. Everyone's gonna use maybe different amount of keys. And now this one, I don't see. I don't know where I went. So yeah, sometimes because they're white, they're hard to see. Hopefully I'm gonna delete it and duplicate it again. If you don't see it, just do that. And there it is. I think some of the other ones are here, but just delete them because if you don't see them, and then just duplicate it again. Okay, sorry guys. I hope I'm not confusing with everything I'm doing, but I'm just repeating the same thing over, right? So you see that this says 7. I want it to be at 8. Okay, and this says 179. So this when I duplicate it, it says 140. So I got to go change this to 179. Okay, and now run the code, and it stays there. Okay, let's go duplicate another one. So we'll get with all of them. Again, I don't see it. It's weird. See that? I see that one, but not this one. So I'm going to delete it again and duplicate it again. Hopefully it appears. There it is. You see, I think some of them hide behind here, and that's why we can't see them. But it's okay. Here we go. So now I put this here, and it's at 8, and this says 220. So I go change this to 200. Oops, 220. Okay, and then I run the code, and there we go. It's a little bit separate, but it's okay. It's not going to be perfect, guys. Um, but we're learning as we're going, and we're going to get better every time with more practice. But I thought this was a very cool project because we haven't used this feature of music. Okay, and there's at 8, but it's a little too separate. There we go. I think that's good for now. And the number there is 259, I think. 259. So I go change it here, 259. And press green, and there it is. Okay, hopefully I can fit 2 more keys here, I think, and then I'm gonna have to go change this in my design, the background. Okay. Then I click again, duplicate, and the duplicate went. Okay, the duplicate went right here. That's weird. Oh no, I didn't duplicate it. Sorry. So duplicate, and there it is. And now it's here. Oh, right there. I think I'm gonna have just enough space to put one more key. So everybody's keys are not going to be the same. You guys might have them a little smaller, a little bigger. You might just have, I have so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe you have 7, maybe you have 10, but it's okay. Okay, so here we go. This key here is at 8, like all the other ones, but this number here is different. So let's see what number that is. That is number 298. 298. So 298. I go change it here. 298. Press green, and there it is. Okay, I'm going to make one more, and then we're going to go change the code in each one of those. Okay, so here we go. And I bring it here. And I put it right. So you see how this one's got a little space? That can be part of my design, I guess. And I can make this one go here. And it can just be like a different kind of piano, I guess. Because when I move this, it won't allow me. But maybe I'll try to fix it here when I'm done. I just don't want to hold up. Okay. So there we go. So 8, and the number there is 339. 339. So I'm gonna go change this number that I just duplicated. 339. There we go. So now we created all our piano keys. The only bug that I see is right here. So I'm going to see if I can fix that. But for now, I'm going to leave it just so we can keep moving. And if we go to every single code, we can start looking at the code real quick. So we can look here. This is my piano code. If I move my piano by accident, look what's going to happen now. That's why we did that in the beginning, right? If I move this key by accident, that's why we added this code to it, so it can go back. Um, also, if now we need to change the sound. So here we go. All the piano keys, if we see it, they're all the same code, right? Except the position, the length. But just check your code. Make sure all your code is the same at the number 8. And yes, 8, 8, 8, and 8. So we checked our code. Everything looks good. Now, this first key, we already have it programmed to be the first note, right? So now we're going to go change the second key, which is this one. The second key, we come to the code and we go down here and we want it to be the second key, so it would be this one. You see that? So now I have 2 different keys, right? And that's it. So now we go to the third key. And the third key, we come to the code and we choose the third one. Okay, and now we know. We test our code. There we go. And then we go to the fourth key. And the same thing. We go to here and 1, 2, 3, 4. We want that one for that. Okay. So now see we're getting different sounds. Then we go to the fifth key. And in the fifth key, we go to the code and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And now we go to the sixth key. The sixth key, we go here. 1. And you see why is it showing this one here? Because we remember we copied the code and they all had the 1, but now we're changing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there we go. And now we go to the seventh key. And the seventh key would be one, two, three, four. Oops. One,